Hello, my fam! It's already Wednesday. How did that happen? If you're watching me and you're blessed enough to be a teenager, time flies way quicker the older you get. Thank you for watching, my fam. I love you. Yes, another Madonna shirt, iconic Who's That Girl tour, and duh, I had to wear my Vogue snapback to match. Today, I am gonna give you what you want, Miley and Liam and Brody and more. Let's start off with the very latest on Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. According to multiple reports, which take them with a grain of salt, because in a situation where only two people are involved and each person can view things completely differently, the only two people who will really know what went wrong are those two people. In this instance, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. But according to reports, Miley wanted Liam to go to couples therapy, and allegedly he did not want to. Therefore, she decided to end the marriage, or at least put it on an indefinite break. All right, if my husband, whom I'm legally married to, doesn't want to go to therapy, but I'm having issues with him, I'm going to be my own therapist. I'm going to try to outsmart, outthink, and make sure we last. It still boggles my mind that after 10 years together and only getting married in 2018, less than 12 months later, they end up separating. Which just goes back to my initial thought, which is there is more to this story than we know. And also, something that Booker said on the podcast, Miley Cyrus is a freak in the sense that she's not just a former... Actually, I said this. What am I talking about? Miley Cyrus is not just a former child star. She's also a former child star who was the child of a celebrity. That puts her on a whole other level of crazy, and she just needs so much attention. Liam must be one of the most patient men on the planet. And I'm sure that we'll get sprinklings of more information, but Liam Hemsworth basically echoed what I said when he expressed that we can't really believe everything we read by releasing his own statement. This is what he said on social media. Quote, "Hi all, just a quick note to say that Miley and I have recently separated, and I wish her nothing but health and happiness going forward. This is a private matter, and I have not made, nor will I be making any comments to any journalists or media outlets. Any reported quotes attributed to me are false. Peace and love." What's interesting about that is he said recently separated. Miley's camp has been trying to paint the picture, telling this to multiple outlets. They've been separated for months. No. To me, recently separated means August or July. In fact, as I mentioned on the podcast, in early July, Liam and Miley were still together on the vacation, just the two of them. They were spotted in Solvang. So this split happened at the very latest, I'm going to guess, after early July. More information, though, about Miley and her new gal pal, Kaitlynn Carter. What makes it all just steamy and delicious. World's best dad. The best dad ever. Miley, Liam, Brody Jenner, and his now ex, Kaitlynn Carter, they were all friends. A friendship that began because of Brody and Liam, who were surfing buddies. I was under the assumption, and I think Kaitlynn is also friends with Brandy Cyrus. Isn't it wild that these two women whose husbands were friends then of all the people in the world that they could hook up with, decide to hook up with each other. That is cold and calculated, I think, right? For attention and to hurt. Ay, ay, ay. But Miley is trying to be positive and turn lemons into lemonade. The very latest is that she is in the recording studio recording music. She's got 2 more EPs coming out, and I have a feeling that they will be very autobiographical and about her failed marriage. Or maybe Miley will pull an Ariana Grande, and maybe if the marriage isn't over, we'll hear that in song too. But what's even crazier than this already crazy story is that Brody Jenner has also already moved on. Take that, Kaitlynn Carter. Brody Jenner is now dating, weeks later, Josie Canseco, the daughter of Jose Canseco, the former baseball player and Cuban. Josie is a model herself and a former Playboy playmate and a social media influencer. Everybody is a social media influencer these days. However, those close to Brody want to reiterate that they're just having fun and there's nothing serious going on right now. Whew, this story, it's got so many players and so many angles, and I love it. Love it. Oh. All right, I'll stop that. But actually, maybe this will look better. Hold on. Okay, yeah. There we go. That's better. Okay. Yesterday, trending almost all day was Chris Cuomo and his response to a troll in person who trolled him. I've experienced that myself. Never pleasant. In fact, I went viral once when this troll, I don't know, I guess I deserved it. I'm just never a fan of confronting people and invading their space. When was it? I think like 2015, maybe, this troll, or whatever he does, saw me at a Fashion Week event and came up to me and said, "You're a piece of blank," and filmed a Vine back when Vine was still popping. And I just kept smiling and said nothing. Chris Cuomo, on the other hand, threatened to get physical with this guy who insulted him by calling him Frito, which is the name of a character from The Godfather. And Chris Cuomo compared being called Frito to Black Americans being called the N-word. Seriously, Chris Cuomo actually said, quote, "Frito's from The Godfather. He was the weak brother, and they use it as an Italian aspersion. Are any of you Italian? It's a blanking insult to your people. It's an insult to your blanking people. It's like the N-word for us. Is that a cool blanking thing?" And then he almost got physical with this guy. I do believe that a CNN or MSNBC or even a Fox News journalist should be held to a certain standard. And to me, Chris Cuomo did not meet that standard. What do you guys think? Am I totally off here? I mean, even Sean Hannity is chiming in and defending Chris Cuomo. You know you're on the wrong side if Sean Hannity is defending you. Hannity said, quote, Chris Cuomo, what did he say? Where is he? Anyways, I don't even know what Sean Hannity said. I can't find it. But, of course, the president was not supporting Chris Cuomo. CNN did. And that surprised me, saying, "We completely support him." Chris Cuomo defended himself when he was verbally attacked with the use of an ethnic slur and an orchestrated setup. "We completely support him." Chris Cuomo's employers now are backing up the ethnic slur claim. It's a character in a movie. It's like calling somebody Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. Like, I just refuse to accept that's like the N-word. It's not. And now I might get in trouble for people telling me, like, you can't say it's not like the N-word. Whatevs. To me, to my blue face. All right, also trending, big story for you followers of reality television. The stars of Chrisley Knows Best have been indicted on several charges, not just tax evasion. They include tax evasion, bank fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Todd and Julie Christie are charged not only with defrauding a number of banks by fraudulently obtaining millions of dollars in loans, but also with allegedly cheating taxpayers by actively evading paying federal taxes on the money they earned. The Chrisleys knew that these charges were coming, so they released their own statement prior to this being made public, where they denied all wrongdoing, blamed everything on a former employee of theirs who fabricated, lied, forged documents, and they claim has now been given immunity to testify against them. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine the government must have a lot of evidence, but they claim they have evidence too. Ay, ay, ay. All right, in other reality TV news, I did watch the latest episode of Tana Turns 21 for MTV's No Filter on YouTube. Episode number 6, hopefully the penultimate one. I think there's just one more after this, which is the wedding episode. And actually, let me just skip ahead. The preview for the wedding episode, which is the next episode of Tana's show, we hear her saying how the wedding is one of the biggest moments of her career. Clearly, she viewed her fake wedding to Jake Paul as work and a professional thing. And we also hear her manager, Jordan, say, "Oh, I hear there's going to be a fake fight." I mean, I sort of actually am not that bothered by it. You know, it's like a lot of Trisha Paytas. A lot of Trisha Paytas is fake. A lot of it is performance art. A lot of Nikocado Avocado is fake. I mean, most reality TV is fake. Hello? What's not fake is the fact that Tana behaves like a child, even though she's 21 years old. I don't know why they allow this to be. I mean, maybe because this is real-ish. Her assistant has to wake her up. And this is not the first time I've seen this. And she was sleeping till 12:47 p.m. First of all, I would not have my assistant, who's my sister, who's more than my assistant. She runs everything. She's like my COO. She does I mean, she doesn't do accounting. I have an accountant, but she's like my COO. She does everything. I would never have her wake me up. I am an adult and a professional, and I could set my alarm to make myself up. I thought it was also funny that there was so much drama about Jake Paul going to VidCon, but he was banned, blah, blah, blah. Reminder, VidCon is now owned by Viacom, which owns MTV, which is the real reason Tana Mongeau went to VidCon. I thought it was hilarious that her friend Omari and that girl, I don't even know the girl's name, they both talk about, once again, the relationship not being real. literally saying that they pretend. Omari called out Jake for showing up to Tana's panel at VidCon. I thought that was smart. Listen, I'm not saying that Jake Paul is a genius, but he is media savvy. He knows how to troll, he knows how to prank and punk and get people talking. That's a skill not everybody has. And enough about that. Speaking of reality TV, I can't say too much because YouTube, and I'm advertiser friendly on YouTube. On my podcast, thank you to the advertisers who choose to advertise there knowing what they're getting. Mama June, the mother of Honey Boo Boo and a reality TV star, has chosen her very problematic boyfriend over her own daughter. You all know what they were both arrested for earlier this year. If you don't, you can read up on it on my website. And I think this is a wonderful thing. I do. The family gave Mama June a chance to have Alana back in her life, but she chose the boyfriend instead. And frankly, I think it's way better for Honey Boo Boo to be with her sister, who's just 19, than be with a parent who is in full-blown mode. You know what I mean? Not everybody's a good parent. Not everybody's me. And even me, I could be a better parent. I just work too much. I do. I feel so much guilt for how hard I work. But I have to. I do. I'm not even... yeah. Okay. Jesus. Aaron Carter's life is so chaotic these days. The very latest with Aaron Carter, he's been granted a restraining order against his ex-girlfriend after she threatened to do something really bad to him, which I won't get into because YouTube. I have a feeling there's a lot going on with Aaron Carter, and all I'm saying is just sending him positive vibes. Maybe he can do Celebrity Big Brother. Or some other show somewhere. I don't know. Ay, ay, ay. Speaking of messes, the iconic opera singer Plácido Domingo has been accused by 9 women of wrongdoing. It sucks that I feel like I can't talk about things like this on YouTube. Anywho, I still have fun on here, and I hope you guys still enjoy it, even if I'm very PG. All right, on to more news of men being awful. In a new interview with Andy Cohen, Wendy Williams reveals that she knew about her soon-to-be ex-husband's double life. However, she's basically claiming that she stayed with him because of their son. She says, "I knew a lot of things for years," Wendy. She goes on to say it was about her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., and splitting from the father. It wasn't fair to him. You know, I'm not going to grab his hand and flee the scene and move zip codes. You know, now he has to move high schools and stuff like that. He's just making friends. So now he's away in college, and the person I am now is very single because he's not living with me. He goes to school in Miami. I mean, I understand making a marriage work, but somebody who did all of the things that this guy did, would you stay with a husband like that just because you have a child? Not me. Sometimes you have to put yourself first. And hello, at 14, that wouldn't have been the most traumatic thing. At 15, she's known this for years. I guess the final straw for Wendy was when the now ex got his new baby mama pregnant. All right, from Wendy to more reality TV news. AUDRINA PATRIDGE and her accused of awful things ex-husband, Corey Boehm, have agreed to monitored visits with him and their daughter, 3-year-old Kira. However, their very bitter custody battle continues, and AUDRINA is adamant about getting full primary sole custody. All right, in more couples news that's not as bad, Nicki Minaj revealed in the latest episode of her Queen Radio that yes, she and her fiancé, Kenneth Petty, obtained a marriage license and that they will be marrying within the next 75 days and will have a big wedding later in the year. She's too busy now in the studio. In more reality and couples news, the daughter of Beth and Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman, Bonnie Chapman, took to Instagram to set the record straight. Her dad is not dating. He was pictured with a woman on a business date, and she was, quote, the dad was, quote, out with 8 other people at that dinner. And when Dog the Bounty Hunter is ready to start dating again, I think that he should do it on a reality TV show. I think Beth Chapman would want her husband and father of her children to make money, right? All right, in more TV news and update, I told you guys, and I've updated you along the way, that E! News is moving their E! News show to New York, rebranding and switching from late night to a morning slot and a morning show. Well, after I told you 20 staffers were laid off, now we're hearing, according to the very latest reports, that the hosts, Juliana Rancic and Jason Kennedy, are not expected to join E! News when it moves to New York City. Don't know if that was by choice or if they were fired. It's a bummer because I like both of them. I'm going to have to do some of those under eye things. I'll do it in tomorrow's video. Mental note. All right. I teased on social media yesterday that I have a controversial take on something that Anne Hathaway said in a new interview. When speaking to the latest issue of Allure, the actress talked about being told to lose weight for a role when she was just 16 years old. And she thinks Hollywood isn't that much better now. And that also got me thinking about Jamila Jamil and her revelation that her parents were fat phobic. You have to be very mindful about how you speak to children. But as a child who grew up in a, I would say, body positive household, I was never told I was fat or undesirable. My parents never told me to lose weight when I was young, and I wish they would have. Maybe not told me to lose weight, but I wish my parents would have educated me on what it meant to be healthy, the importance of that, what it looked like, and forced me to be healthier, forced me to be active. Yes, forced me, bribed me, do whatever, however they could have maneuvered my adolescent brain to eat healthier and be active at a young age. I wish that, but they didn't. They were happy being unhealthy themselves, very overweight, and they were fine letting me be the same way. And I've struggled my whole life with my health because of the way I was brought up. Therefore, I am very mindful of how I speak to my children, and I will force them to be more active and be healthier if they ever get to a point that I deem them to be very unhealthy. Some people are going to talk smack about me because of that, but I don't care. This is for their best, I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the live chat, as per usual, and let me know in the comments section down below. In other health-related news, Kyle Richards, one of the stars of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, wants her sister Kim to seek help for her issues. I'll link to this below because the URL doesn't have any keywords that may trigger a demonetization, but it reveals what her issues are. And you know, it must really suck when you're struggling and it's so public and the world knows that you're struggling. Or does it? Maybe it makes it easier because there's more shame and you want to avoid that. I don't know. I just wish Kim Richards well. I saw Kyle this past weekend. I went to a birthday party for Nikki Hilton's 3-year-old daughter. Happy birthday, Lily Grace. And thank you for inviting us to that party, Nikki. We had a blast. And Nikki Hilton has the most beautiful home, which she barely even lives in. It's her second house. Her husband, one of the Rothschilds, they live in New York City. Ay, ay, ay. Money. It won't solve all your problems, but it would help a lot, okay? All right. On to some music news. Actually, a few Taylor Swift related stories. Because, you know, we're amping up to the release of Lover on August 23rd, and there just seems to be Taylor everywhere. Taylor Swift chimed in on a post that BEBE REXHA made on Instagram talking about a male record executive who told her, BEBE, that her brand was confusing because she posts all these sexy pics and she's a songwriter and blah, 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 blah. And because of her age, she's 29 years old and is going to be turning 30 at the end of this month. I don't see that as problematic or an issue at all. Madonna is still exploring her sexiness and she's 60 plus. It's just the record executive is saying what is sadly true. The record industry is very ageist. And it's not even just the record industry. People are very ageist. They are. I'm not. I still love my divas, and you know, a lot of them still release great, like the best diva, I would say, the queen of quality control, who till this day continues to release amazing music, Kylie Minogue. Nobody in the pop game has released music as good as Kylie for as long as she has. As consistently good. I mean, Madonna has too, but I almost like Kylie's output better. People will fight me on that too. All right, speaking of Taylor, her friend Cara Delevingne, whom I mentioned yesterday, didn't legally get married to Ashley Benson, but she did get a new A tattoo, Cara did, for Ashley. And Ashley got not one, but 2 Cara Delevingne tattoos. She got a CD tattoo and one that also read Squish. That's her nickname for Cara. Speaking of Taylor Swift, her ex Harry Styles, unfortunately, an update, turned down the role of Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid. he will not be starring in the film. Also, Taylor Swift, according to reports, has been invited or will be invited by Katy Perry to her wedding to Orlando Bloom. Or maybe she has been. Maybe the wedding is happening soon. And finally, wrapping things up today with another Taylor Swift item. A fan of Taylor Swift's asked for financial help on Tumblr. Not even directly asking Taylor for help. And Taylor donated almost $5,000. You know, she could donate way more, but the fact that she even gave that to a college student who needed money for college tuition, that was awesome. There is no artist that treats their fans better than Taylor Swift. I dare you to name one. Who? Well, I don't consider you fans, but I think I don't shower you all with money, but I shower you all with attention and my time. So thank you. And really, thank you for showering me with your attention and time. I know your time is precious. I love you. You are precious to me. I'm not going to say anything else. If you feel inclined to help in any other way, there's so many ways you can help this video be seen more, or help my fam by getting this or that or doing that. You know what to do. I love you. I will see you guys tomorrow.